What's up guys, it's Gaz. Welcome to the Warframe video. So today I wanted to give you guys some pointers and maybe some advice on how to use your Umbra Forma that you probably got from this season of Nightwave, the Emissary. So if you've been doing Nightwave every season, you've gotten 2 of these Umbra Forma that you can put on a frame or weapon. I would definitely recommend at this time putting it on a frame, and we're going to go over some advice on how to make the right choice for your account on which frame to put your Umbra Forma on. So this is from the previous season, the Wolf of Saturn 6. I've got a Umbra Forma on my Garuda, and since I put Umbra Forma on here, this mod that took 16 points before only takes 8 points now. That allows me to actually get some extra points across the rest of the mod slots in my build, so I can have some higher hitting mods on here. If I did not have this Umbra Forma on here, guys, this build would literally not be possible. See how we have 0 out of 74? That's with an Umbra Forma. We literally would not be able to do this build without this. And like, there's lots of options we wouldn't be able to have without this as well. So, yeah, Umbra Forma is something when you really have a specific build you want to work on, and the only way you can do it is with Umbra Forma. We're going to go over 5 Umbra builds today, guys. The Sarin, actually no, it's more like 4. 4 Umbra builds. The Sarin one I'm showing you is not really a fully focused Umbra build. But if I do put my Umbra Forma on Sarin, I am going to actually completely change the build. So I'm going to show you guys the options I have right now, and I'm going to give you guys some pointers on if you were to like go with these frames right here, what you would be looking for. So here's my top 7-ish. I have more than this that I want to consider. Unfortunately, like I said, Umbra Forma is very limited to if you've literally done all the Nightwave stuff ever. So yeah. Number 1 is Wukong Prime right now. I'm going to quickly show you guys Wukong Prime destroying a high-level Demolist. But here's the thing, guys. You don't really fight Demolist too often, and the reason I'm testing this right now is because this upcoming week we have a new Disruption mission coming up where we're going to have Ghoul Demolist. So I've been testing stuff for killing these really high-level Demolists, guys. And Wukong was not around during the previous event. Wukong is actually really good against the Demolist. So we have a Condition Overload set up here with our stick. We have a Hema with 3 elements to give us lots of status procs. We've got Continuous Misery to give us increased status duration on those status procs. We've got the Gladiator set bonus, a good portion of it on our melee weapon. And then we have our Iron Staff Prime modded for Corrosive and Condition Overload, which is not optimal against what we're fighting. We'd actually want to put Viral on here, but Wukong does so much damage that it should be fine, and the Sentinel doesn't really matter too much. We're not actually using Helios Prime here, guys, because the situations I'm testing right now with these full Umbra setups, it's going to be level 165 enemies, which is the highest I can spawn in here. Unfortunately, the enemies will be higher level in the Disruption node themselves if we go higher than level 165, which is pretty easy. Within about 10-ish rounds, you're going to be seeing like level 200 enemies. So, yeah, I have an entire video on how to kill high-level Demolists. We'll be doing another one once the Ghoul Demolists come out by the end of the week, hopefully. But as you see, we got a couple hits on him with the Iron Staff Prime, and it just destroyed him. So, if we were to put an Umbra Forma on our Wukong, let's see what we would get out of this, guys. This is the big thing. Like, this is what I want to help teach you guys here. When you're building a Umbra build, what you are going to be getting out of putting an Umbra Forma on the frame. Because you're going to look at our Sarin build in a little bit, we really wouldn't be getting much from the Umbra Forma, but I still am considering it. So if we were to put an Umbra Forma on here, it would give us 8 more points across the build. For this build specifically. So we get 8 points here. That would allow us to replace this Mobilize with something like Power Drift and give us more power strength overall. We currently cannot fit that on with this current build. That would also allow us to level up our mods. So 8 points total. We'd spend 4 of them to upgrade this Mobilize to Power Drift, most likely, to give us more power strength. Or we could put a Handspring in that slot, which would also be extremely beneficial. We technically could put Handspring in that slot with a normal Forma, but we'll see about that. And then that will allow us to fully upgrade our Prime mods. So we get a rank 10 Prime Continuity and a rank 10 Prime Flow. And technically a rank 10 Umbral Vitality. We might be able to fit all that stuff on there, but these are things you need to look at, guys. Like, if I have 8 more points, what can I do on this build? And it might be a very small upgrade you're getting. Like, technically, if we were to put Umbra Forma on Wukong, we'd be getting maybe Handspring or Power Drift up here. We'd be getting... I'd consider upgrading this Umbral Vitality a little bit higher. I don't upgrade all of my mods fully, guys, because it messes up a lot of my builds that I'm trying to do, and they wouldn't be possible if I fully upgraded the mods. So it might not be the right choice to do Wukong for me, guys. We would be getting a little bit of stats here and there, but it really would not be super like groundbreaking. Okay, so that's one quick thing to look at with Wukong. I think Wukong is probably going to be my #1 choice, but we'll see. I'm probably at the same time it's Wukong. You know what I mean? Like I like Wukong a lot and I play him a lot, but he's not like my favorite frame or anything like that. So let's go over the second choice I'm going over. So I'm thinking that those are the other options. We'll go over those in a bit. So we're talking about Sarin Prime. I want to show you Sarin Prime against the Demolist. All this stuff, guys, is focused on Demolist because that's the high-level content we're going to be having pretty soon that we're going to be needing to mod for. So let's quickly show Sarin. I'm going to show Sarin on a high-level Demolist really quickly with this not fully Umbra build. So look at this, guys. We have one Umbra mod in here. If I was to make this a full Umbra build and put an Umbra Forma on here, we would actually Forma off the D polarity for Vitality, and in that slot we would put Umbral Vitality. We'd also have to probably change some other stuff around the other build, which is the reason I'm probably not going to do Sarin. It's hard, guys. It's really hard to decide because my other builds for Sarin might actually get messed up if I put an Umbral Forma on there, or if I take off the D polarity for the Vitality. So the nice thing about Sarin, though, is that you don't even need a full Umbra build to do crazy damage. We got the Venom Dose Augment mod on here right now, giving us 300% additional corrosive. But notice we did get nullified there, guys. Against these Demolists, they're going to nullify you pretty much constantly, so that's something to keep in mind. It's just how it is, and they did say on the prime time that the Demolist nullifier tech, or whatever it's called, the nullifier bubble that shoot out every couple seconds, that is going to be sold to the Grenier, and that will be on the Grenier version as well. So if we were to put a Umbral Form on here, we get 8 more points on this build. That would allow us to... wouldn't really help this build too much, to be honest. We would actually have to, like... It would be kind of a pain in the butt. We'd have to actually put Umbral Vitality on here, because I want to get some more value out of here. It would take a couple more formulas to figure this out. And then notice here, guys, some builds like this probably would benefit a good amount from the Umbral Forma. So we get 8 more points here. We could... let's see what we could do here. It would actually just be us putting on Umbral Vitality on these two builds, because I'd have to Forma this off. But here's the one that would get messed up. So I actually used the D polarity on this build for overextended. So if we were to take this D polarity off, this build might not work as well. But we already have Umbral Vitality in here, so it's kind of a hard decision, guys. Modding is not super straightforward all the time when you're trying to do multiple builds like this. So, yeah, Sarin... I want to do it because Sarin looks so cool with the new armor set, or not the armor set, but the armor piece, and I really think Sarin is one of the best frames in the game, so I really want to do it on Sarin, but the value might not just be there, guys. Like, we might have to do something else. So let's go over the rest of these options still. So we got Oberon Prime. Oberon Prime is actually probably the best choice, to be honest. He doesn't get, like, he does get a pretty good amount of extra stats from these Umbra builds, but what we're doing here, guys, is actually showing Vigorous Swap with Oberon Prime's first ability. So if you didn't know this, Oberon Prime's first ability does percentage-based health damage, and Vigorous Swap does work on his first ability. The orbs are going to do about 8,000 damage when we don't have Vigorous Swap procced on this Demolist. When we have it procced, it will do about 12,000 damage. So, yeah, that's how some people pseudo-cheese really high-level Demolist runs, and you can do this. But you definitely do not need an Umbra Forma to do this. What we're doing right now, this is the Umbra Forma will just make you more tanky in Oberon and make your healing a little bit better, which is nice for Oberon because with this current build we have like 100 and something healing per, or 94 healing per second, which isn't really that impressive in the grand scheme of things. So getting the extra armor is going to get a little bit tankier. You're going to want some arcanes as well on Oberon. He's really not the tankiest character in the game. He's more of an all-rounder that can be pretty tanky against like level like 80-ish, and like 40 level enemies would probably be pretty tanky around there. Like high level Demolists like this, there really is not many options for who's going to be tanky. It's basically going to be Anaros or Bus, or there's a couple other choices, of course. But yeah, guys, if you're doing a high level Demolist run, you can use what's it called? Vigorous Swap and Oberon's first ability, and you can chunk that Demolist. Good luck. Hopefully you don't get killed. But yeah, let's look at what we would get out of a Umbral Forma on this setup. This is the one we were using in the video. So if we get 8 more points, that would allow us to put a Exilith slot up here. It also allow us to max out some mods, which would be pretty valuable. It also would technically allow us to swap out Steel Charge for potentially maybe Corrosive Projection or Shield Disruption or something like that. So, yeah. But that also a Aura Polarity will be required for that one as well, guys. So, yep. That is going to be Oberon for you. Let's keep going. We had Chroma Prime. So Chroma Prime, this is probably one of the ones that a lot of people are considering right now just because of Eidolon fights. And you actually might want to save 2 Umbra Forma, because I've been hearing some people putting 2 Umbra Forma on Chroma Prime, guys. So this is not a max power strength build at all. I don't even have Transient Fortitude. I don't even have, what's the other one called? Not Power Donation. Growing Power, I think it's called. Yeah, that one. I don't even have that on here. We have like a 700 and something percent weapon damage bonus if we self-damage ourselves, which we are self-damaging ourselves with the Tsar here, by the way. So, if you were to use a Umbral Form on Chroma, you will definitely get some value out of that. You'll be able to fit some stuff on the build you were not able to fit on before. Definitely an Exilus mod that will probably be better than the one you had before there. You'll be able to fit a higher rank Narrow-Minded on to get more duration out of you. And you'll also be able to, you probably will put Umbral Fiber on there in the end, just to get all 3 Umbra Mons, just to feel the coolest. That'll give you more health, more armor, more power strength. This should be very valuable, guys. I'd say, I wouldn't blame you for doing it. I'm not going to do it because I don't play Chroma very often, but I wouldn't blame you one bit for doing that because Chroma is very meta for Eidolons. You can use them in high-level disruption to fight the Demolist. Just be careful that you don't get nullified and lose your buffs, because that's going to be a pain in the butt. So 8 more points here. That would allow us to... we already have a max range Narrow-Minded. That would allow us to maybe take off Streamline, put Transient Fortitude in that slot, maybe take off Augur Message, put Energy Conversion. I mean, maybe you wouldn't want to put Energy Conversion in that slot. Maybe you'd put Umbral Fiber in this slot, actually. So you'd probably just take off this. We're just going to simulate what it would look like. Don't even have enough points still. Okay, we'll take off this for now. What are these stats going to be looking like? We're going to be getting 1,200 armor on Chroma Prime, 930 health with an unmaxed Umbral Vitality. It will be around like 1,000 something health, and 277% power strength. And that's with taking off some duration mods. So our weapon damage bonus will be 761. You decide if that's if that's something you're looking to do, guys. You could definitely upgrade your mods some more if you put an Umbra Form on here, and you will be the Eidolon King. So, yeah, go away. All right, and then the final options we have on this spreadsheet, or this this picture rather, is that we have Wisp and we have Cora. So, things about those ones, guys, is that they are not prime frames. So if you are making an option or a choice to put an Umbra Forma on a frame, either make it a prime frame or make it a frame that is very recent and is not going to get primed anytime soon. So that way you're not wasting your Umbra Forma on a frame that's about to get primed, and then you're just regretting it. You're like, why did I not just save this for the Umbra or the prime version of this? Because it will have better stats technically. So this is the Wall Master build, which is the only build on Wisp I use all 3 of the Umbra mods on, but you could definitely make the 3 Umbra mods work on other builds easily, guys. So for this one, we're actually using double Arcane Arachne. So this damage is not normal. This is not normal damage right here. This is not what Wisp is normally doing. But what we're doing here is we're putting on all of our buffs, we're latching to a wall. And, I mean, you would get one shot as Wisp against a high-level Demolist like this, but we're going to try to kill him before he can even shoot us. So we wall latch, we get our Condition Overload on the enemy, and then we use the Gram Prime with a viral setup to fight this Demolist. So this is the Satyr Demolist, which is actually a robot in the game, in game code, so it takes less damage from viral than it would from, like, electric or something like that. So definitely not the ideal situation, but if we were to put an Umbra Form on Wisp, we could actually fully upgrade our adaptation. We could possibly get a better mod up here that's not Proton Pulse. And you actually have lots of options if you do a Umbral Forma on Wisp. I've heard some people doing Umbral Formas on Wisp, and it seems like a pretty good idea. Okay, so 8 points here. You could literally just keep the old adaptation on here. You could put more power strength up here with Power Drift. You could put, we already have Hand Spray on the build. Guys, you have really lots of options here. You could max out your mods, you could do lots of things here, and that's going to make these other builds a lot better too, because I use at least one Umbral mod on all of my Wisp buffs, or my Wisp builds, so that's going to be 8 points here, that's going to be 8 points here, that's going to be 8 points here, so that's going to be really nice for versatility, and Wisp is a very good support, so I'm actually going to be highly valuing Wisp for the Grenier disruption node, because there will not be as many nullifier bubbles. There won't be nullifiers just walking through Wisp like flower buffs. So the fact that she can just have those on the ground like almost all mission, as long as the Demolist doesn't walk all over them, they will be there the entire mission. She will be a lot more valuable in Grenier disruption, guys. Okay, so the last two we have Rhino, and then we have Cora, and I'm gonna go over a couple other options after that, guys, that are not as valuable, I'd say, but still like can have some viability. So we're gonna go over Cora. I added Rhino Prime in here because I forgot Rhino Prime existed for a couple seconds. But we're mostly looking at disruption, guys. My mind is in disruption mode right now. So here is the Cora build I'm going to be showing you guys. Not a normal Cora build at all. The normal Cora build I use would actually benefit from an Umbra Forma as well. So this is my normal Cora build. So 8 more points here. Could probably just max out some mods, to be honest. It wouldn't be too crazy. For this one, we would get... So we could definitely max out some more mods. It's mostly going to be maxing out your mods, guys, when you're putting these Umbra Forma on these frames. But for this one, this is a disruption-focused one. Cora is mostly going to be a support in disruption, keeping the non-Demolist enemies like stuck in her Strangle Dome. Her 2 does work on the Demolist as well. That's why we have a little bit of casting speed on here, just so we don't instantly die while we're casting this. And yeah, she's going to be mostly a support. You will actually not be bringing a stat stick to this most likely, just because the damage that the stat stick is going to do with Cora's Whip Claw is probably not going to be enough, and it's not going to work out the way you want it to. So we'll quickly show how a Umbral Cora build will work on a Demolist. Let me just find that clip for you really quickly. Here we go. So basically the same build I think we have in the... I just showed you guys. Arcane Fury, just because I want to try it out, to be honest. I want to see how this does. If it's going to be worth bringing to this high-level mission. I'm thinking no, because we're already going to be getting basically one shot already. Taking away our Arcane Guardian might just be a bad idea. So, yeah. We're going to be like locking up that Demolist with our Lasso, the very useful Cora ability that I use all the time, actually. You can actually indefinitely cast it on the Demolist, but when his Demolist bubble goes out, it will negate the ability. So you gotta be pretty self-aware of what's going on there, and we were able to kill him pretty quickly. So Umbra Forma is going to give us a little bit more power strength here and there. Nothing too groundbreaking. Let's go over the last one here, guys. So this is Umbral Rhino, not fully Umbral. I'd actually have to figure out some more stuff on this build if we were to put an Umbra Form on here. This is another thing, like I was saying, guys. Make sure you look at the build and see what you'd actually be getting value-wise by putting an Umbra Form on there. We have a 150% damage buff with Roar with our current setup, and I think we'd just be getting more like armor values and stuff if we put an Umbra Form on here on the other builds. Not on this build, really. We wouldn't be getting much value on this build. Okay, so this actually made me realize that maybe my Rhino build is just not that great, because the kill speed that he had versus his Demolist compared to like Sarin and Cora, I mean he did a little bit worse than Cora actually, but now that I notice that he only has 2 Condition Overload procs on him right now. That's probably why it was kind of weak sauce, that he got a full combo off and didn't even kill him. And we got negated, so maybe it wasn't a very good test, but that is like kind of like a general gist of what you'll be getting if you have a high power strength Rhino build against the Demolist. Let's quickly just look at his build and see what we'll be getting there value-wise. Also, does my Rhino have a mustache? He's supposed to have a mustache. Alright, so if we were to put an Umbra Form on Rhino, we would be getting... we could level up this Piercing Roar that I've been trying out, which is not really important. We could get 8 more points, so that would be... We could max this out. Max that out. We'd be getting 2 points out of that. So we could run, like... We could run a Augur mod in this last slot, if we wanted to. Or we could run like not a fully ranked up augment mod. So something like maybe Augur Reach or some more duration to get that Roar to stay on the teammates longer. That could be nice. We could get a 30-second duration on our Roar if we put Augur Message there. And then we put the Umbra Forma here that would let us max these mods out. And we could probably actually eke out a little bit more duration because you could put Constitution in this slot, which would give you a little bit more duration and some knockdown recovery, which Rhino definitely does not need. So, yeah, guys, I just thought I'd give you some options on what I'm thinking about, what you could maybe think about, and give you some options looking forward at that high-level Demolist. So here's a few other options really quickly before we end the video. So we got Frost and Trinity. I think Frost actually is a pretty good option because Frost scales, like his bubble scales from all 3 of the Umbra mods. So his bubble's going to benefit from strength. It's going to benefit from armor. It's going to benefit from health. So we have a full Umbra build on Frost right here. And we have 16,000 health on our Snow Globe. I don't know if it... Does it show you the armor value of it? I don't think it does. That might just get taken into account when you're just creating it. So that's pretty good. We don't really even have that much duration on here, so if you were to put an Umbra Forma here, you could definitely put a... you could actually put a lot better mods in here. You wouldn't have to run a rank 0 Vigor like I am right now. You could definitely upgrade this stuff. Frost is a good option, guys. 8 more points in here would definitely give you some bang for your buck. And he also did get that Freeze Force mod recently. So if you put some put Umbra Forma in here, you could probably eke out more power strength too. Give you more damage. So, and the last one I was looking at is Trinity. So the reason I want to do Trinity maybe is because it will just make you more tanky for Eidolons. I don't really play Eidolons very often. When I do play Eidolons, it's usually Chroma or Trinity. Those are my two like go-tos. So for this tank build, we get 8 more points. That would allow us to max out our Umbra Vitality, our Prime Flow. We actually don't want to max out our Narrow-Minded for this build because it's actually we do want a little bit of range so we can link to enemies with a baiting link. For the Eidolon build, it would give you 8 more points, which would let you level up your Prime Flow, let you level up your enemy sense, all this stuff actually. So Trinity is a really good option, guys, and I wouldn't blame you for running it. And then as far as Ember and Nova, I would blame you for putting an Umbra Form on those guys, because that's the kind of dumb things I consider, and you probably shouldn't do that. Okay, guys, so I hope you found this video helpful. Just like an overview of some Demolist stuff, like a quick overview of Demolist stuff for next week, and some advice on Umbra Forma. I definitely would not recommend putting an Umbra Forma on any weapon currently, because the only Umbra weapon mods we have right now are for melee weapons. So if you really like your Zaw, maybe you could put it on there. If you really wanted to put a little bit of crit chance on there, maybe make it scale better with whatever, and then a little bit of weapon damage. The thing about those Umbra mods, guys, you actually have less overall damage than if you were running Prime Pressure Points. So they are really not worth it, and if you were like to put a Umbra Form on your Redeemer Prime or something, it might not be as good as you're thinking it will be. But I'm going to just say I told you so, and I mean, you're up to do whatever you want these Umbra Forma, guys. They are so rare that really, like, whatever you do with it, make sure that you are considering it valuable, because they are too rare in my opinion. And I really wish they would give us like some Umbra Forma blueprints from like maybe Lua Disruption, but I guarantee that's not happening. We're getting the Echoes of Umbra, so you'll basically be able to make turret mode on any of your Warframes for 24 hours after you farm this stuff, which doesn't sound very useful to me at all, but it could be kind of cool maybe. Like, I'll probably farm it once or twice, and depending if there's like literally nothing else coming from Disruption besides Echoes of Umbra, we might not even end up farming Disruption very much, guys, because yeah, it doesn't sound very useful. You need to refresh it once every 24 hours, which kind of sounds like a pain in the butt, to be honest. So I'm going to talk to you guys next time. We will see you tomorrow for the Nightwave video. Good luck with your Umbra Forma, and I will see you in Disruption as well. So peace.